Okay, so this is Ransom1690. I feel like making another video touching on some other stuff that I heard. And it's really good stuff because I was watching this video from T Sizzle last night, and he was talking about his, how people be criticizing you when they see you still in the same bad position, and they like, oh, well, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have your shit together? And stuff like that. But which is bullshit, by the way. But another thing he said, which he talked about in the past, is why aren't antinatalists helping each other? And I wanted to kind of talk about that and give some theories about it, because I don't think like this is, well, I know it's not just a problem with antinatalism, but it's a problem with just people in general, just why they don't want to help each other out. And the most obvious answer, of course, is that people are selfish. A lot of people are selfish. And not only that, but a lot of people, we're just not compatible. When I say we're, I'm talking about just in general. People aren't compatible to just be around one another. I actually really believe that, and it was something I was thinking about last week, because I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this guy that I met on, online. I met him on our website, and he posted some of his work, and I said, like, hey, I'm looking for you to have more of a community of people to, talk to who are artists, to share ideas with. So, hey, do you have any other social media, this and that? And so he gave me his Discord. So I hit him up on Discord, and I was talking with him, like, a bit. And for a while, he had a bunch of good stuff to say. I would post my work, what I was working on, and he would give advice about how I can make it better. And like, okay, well, instead of doing this, you need to, think about the anatomy more. You need to start doing an underdrawing and all of that stuff. Like, I mean, he really has some good advice to give. But it's like after a while, he just stopped commenting to my shit. And and he just stopped commenting to me in general. And I'm like, well, okay. So I would try to hit him up, and I just wouldn't be asking for advice or asking for shit. I would just want to chat and have a good conversation, like, hey, how you doing? How things are going? And just, I will say, like, outside of, I guess, the more art-related stuff, he really didn't engage a lot, and he just stopped commenting to me just altogether. So I was ghosted, in other words. And so that just got me thinking, people just get tired of one another at the end of the day. They just aren't compatible with just being around each other long term. Even just, talking from a distance. It's just, I think about people like grizzly bears and polar bears and all of that. And like, lion prides. It's like, yeah, they can come together to get stuff done. But at the end of the day, what do you be seeing on a lot of these nature videos? You see animals, polar bears, grizzly bears. They're competing with one another. They're competing for territory. You see them often, sometimes, bear that isn't in a particular group that's an outsider, them other bears will attack that one. Or if they feel like their territory is being, infiltrated, they'll attack the other bear. But then, other times you see them come together to get shit done. And it's like, that's how people are. People, they're not meant to be around one another long term or just work with each other long term, because ultimately that selfishness is gonna come into it, and it's gonna mess everything up. And that's why a lot of ideas that, like what he was talking about, doesn't seem to work out because it requires the cooperation of other people. And it's like, if other people don't want to cooperate, then there's really nothing much you can do. And it sucks that that's the way it is, but that's unfortunately the reality of things. And I blame stuff like school and the Bible, where that they say in the passage, like, oh, it's not good for a man to be alone. And like these fucking schools, these teachers who was constantly in there gaslighting me, telling me that, oh, well, it's not good for you to be alone so much because you just to yourself, like just making it seem like there was something wrong with me because I didn't want to fucking get to know people or just interact with people or be around people, because I think I knew even at that age that, people were bullshit at the end of the day. They're not really worth being around. And it's like, it's always something that I just couldn't stand. I hated working with other people. It's like when it came to projects, because it's like, oh, you have a specific idea that you want to do, but the other person, they may not cooperate with it, or they may have another idea. And that, it's just, everything always goes to hell that way. And I think this is a bit of why just specific plans don't work out. Because let's say, oh, well, you go to school for this, for being fucking, gee whiz, I don't know. Let's just say doctor or a therapist, I don't fucking know. But you go to school for that shit, you invest all this time into this education to enter into this field where okay, I'm gonna make more money if I get this degree. Like, you can already have it planned out, but then an employer or like someone still has to say yes to you getting in that field. And if they say no, well, then it ain't nothing much you can do about that. Like, you can plan all you want, you can go to school all you want. It's a lot of stuff that I planned out that just didn't work because someone didn't want to fucking cooperate. And to give a prime example of that, it was this situation 5 years ago. And I know I keep saying like all this shit happens within the 5-year time span, but that's unfortunately when shit started really hitting the fan. But 5 years ago, or I was this was my mom's idea, and it was probably I don't know if you can call it a good idea, but it would have gotten all of us paid. So she set up this idea where both me and my auntie got paid to babysit my little brother. So it was this organization we was going to be going through, and how it was going to work is my auntie's name would be on the on the application, but I would be doing the majority of the work from my end. And it's like the reason why she didn't put my name on the application was because I was on that benefits, you know. So this was to really serve to get me a bit of extra money as well. So all my auntie had to do was to just come over to our house with the employer and sign a fucking document, right? But I mean, and she wouldn't even have to be doing any other work. All she would have to do is just sign a document and get paid. That's it. It was that easy. But she started fucking acting up. She wouldn't come to the house. She started playing around, talking about, well, no, send them to my house. And she literally lives right around the fucking corner. Like she did at the time before my cousin burnt down their house. But like at the time, she didn't even live that far from here. She probably lived like 5 minutes from where we fucking are at. Like just in cars, she would have gotten here within that time span, flat, literally around the fucking corner, damn near. And she couldn't even bother to make the drive to our house just to sign a stupid fucking document. So because she wasted so much time, the employer said, okay, we got to find someone else. And I kind of ruined the whole damn thing. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of these plans is based on people cooperating, and it's like, T Sizzle stated, like it's people who just want to be on bullshit. Like they don't want to fucking come together and really cooperate to make stuff happen. And that's one of the reasons why I personally can't stand people, because it's like, I don't fucking know what it is, but like, again, at the end of the day, society wants to pretend that, oh, we're this special advanced species, showing all this shit in the media about how man progressed. We're the most powerful species on the earth because of technology. And that's another thing I want to discredit real quick. They need to really shut the fuck up about that, because it's like, yeah, we're the most powerful species over lions, tigers, and bears, pun intended, because of this bullshit technology. But it's like, okay, I'm not going to even say take all the technology away and we're nothing, but let's say these animals had the same, smarts, the same intelligence as humans. They had the ability to make armor and to make guns and all that shit, have a military, start a nuclear bomb, man, we would get murked so fucking fast. It wouldn't even be a contest. I'm gonna touch on that, man. That's another great topic for another time, but damn, let me get back on fucking topic. But yeah, anyway, it's like, we're at the end of the day, we're just really puny animals, okay? Compared to these other animals out here. And it's like, just think about it. We operate the same way as a pride would, or as a group of bears. Just, yeah, you can be around someone for a little while, but it's like, eventually you're going to get tired of them. That's the same thing, like cheetahs too. Or I think, no, that's fucking, what's it called? Oh, that's leopards more, I think, who are like that. They can't tolerate even being around their own kind for too long, or something bad's gonna happen. They're gonna start fighting with each other. And I don't know. But that's why stuff just don't work out, because a lot of people can't just aren't willing to cooperate, like, on that level that's being talked about. And like, it's just real stupid, and that's why just this society, just dealing with it, it's a waste of fucking time. And that's why I just really want to be left the fuck alone. I don't want to deal with another person ever again. And I'm hoping I can get to a state where that can happen. Like, because it's just a waste of time to me. It's like every interaction or person I try to link up with or have a relationship with, whether it's a fucking, what you call it? Well, there was only one time I tried to go for a romantic relationship, and I already told y'all about that, how bullshit that was. But just, a casual friendship with another person, it's like I'm always being ghosted, or we end up fighting in the end. And like, that's another crazy story that I don't know if I'm gonna talk about yet. But it's like, it always just goes stupid in some kind of way. I've had friends who just like, yeah, we were good for a little while, but then they would just turn on me and start talking about me, just in all these ways, start criticizing me, and not in no positive way. I mean, just being assholes. And so people are just like that, they're just shitty, scrawny animals. And so that's the answer to that question, just why plans don't work out, because it involves the cooperation, a lot of it, with other shitty, scrawny, or shit. I mean, even if you do have muscles, you're like still your fucking animal, But in other words, it involves the cooperation with a species that's not willing to cooperate, So that's all I wanted to get on here and say. Like, and just society really needs to stop pushing this idea that, oh, we're social creatures. Like, where did that even fucking come from? We're social creatures, because I really don't think we really are, unless it's a benefit that another person can get out of it, Like, I think that's what Johnny Lee was talking about from Real Over Religion. Like, a lot of relationships are transactional anyway. Like, so it's like, if they can't realistically see how they're going to get something out of it, then they're not going to do it. And then again, like, even if it is a potential for them to get something out of it, just people just don't cooperate with each other. So yeah, that's what I wanted to get on here and say. And yeah, so hopefully I was able to bring more sense to why just specific plans won't work out, because we're not willing to cooperate with each other, or I mean, at least not for long term. So, but yeah. So that's it for now, and I'll get back to y'all with another one real soon.